Well, good afternoon. It is the appointed hour, and I will call to order the December 18th meeting of the Oklahoma City Riverfront Redevelopment Authority. Item 2 is items from the chairman, and I don't have anything today. Item 3 is the minutes from the October 23rd meeting. Do we have any changes or corrections?
Move approval.
Second. Cast your vote. It passes unanimously. Item 4 is the consent docket. We have the oil and gas revenue report, which showed a little increase again this quarter. That's good. And the Oklahoma River corridor events update. Any questions on either one of those?
Move the item.
Second.
Cast your vote. Passes unanimously. Item 5 is the primary agenda items. Item A is to receive the Oklahoma River maintenance project update.
Good afternoon, Chairman and Trustees.
Welcome.
Jim Llewellyn, Public Works Department. On our river sedimentation basin dredging contract, we finally got the survey completed, and the contractor is going to be mobilizing in January. There was a break-in at the river maintenance building on November 21st, the night before Thanksgiving. There were 2 suspects that were caught on video stealing 2 of the Public Works boats, running them up and down the river. Both the boats were damaged, and they also drove them into the copter boats and caused some damage on those. The video was turned over to the police, and they're investigating. We're still waiting on estimates on the cost of the damage to the boats. We're installing additional video cameras and more AMAG control systems to enhance the security in the area and try to prevent it from happening again. On another note, we also had an electrical contract to replace the automatic transfer switches at the generators for the control houses to ensure that they keep operating properly. On our river cleanup, the crews moved a total of 6.4 tons of debris through October to November 1st, and an additional 4.2 tons of debris from November 3rd to the November 30th. Most of the debris was out of the western basin as usual. That's all my report. Do you have any questions?
I just got a couple of them. On the dredging, the sediment, what's referred to as the sedimentation basin here, that's the May Avenue basin, right?
It's actually west of the
what? It's
actually a little bit west of the May Avenue basin.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's the only one we do dredging in. We don't do the other 2, because it says river basins plural later on down there. We don't do the other 2 basins, do we?
No, actually, we go into the other basins and we dredge areas around the dam where sediment accumulates. A lot of times in the spring, some of that will wash downstream, but there's some of those areas around the locks and stuff that build up sediment. We've gone in and dredged those in the past also.
Okay. And maybe this is for Jeannie, I don't know, but on the break-in, a comment was that there was video footage that showed the suspects. Has there been any movement on identifying them or anything from the police department?
I've not heard of any, but we did spend some time looking at video and giving the timestamps to the police department. Our cameras were able to get pretty good shots of them. We were fortunate that the vessel that they broke the window on was the one that was completely stripped down for haul out, which will be occurring Wednesday. So there was nothing on board for them to take. But we did give the timestamps. All of our video is accessible to the police department.
Okay. Any other questions on the maintenance projects? Motion to receive?
Second.
Cast your vote. Passed unanimously. Thank you. Item B is to receive a presentation on the passenger ferry grant program projects on the Oklahoma River.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. I hope everyone attended and enjoyed the river parade. I know we had a good time. So I'm here to give you an update on where we are on these projects. Staff has been working with Triad Design Group for the project design. The project locations are at Meridian Landing, Stockyard Landing, at River Park, at Agnew, and our Exchange Landing maintenance facility. This was the list of projects that were funded through the Federal Transit Administration. The security cameras at the main terminal are installed and complete. I can say that it's been a big improvement, especially since this last break-in. We were able to get video of the actual trucks that they were driving, and as well as views of them on the dock. So that's been a big improvement and a big help. Security cameras for the vessels will be installed just after Christmas holiday. And the other three projects, the terminal upgrades at Exchange, Meridian Landing Pavilion, and River Park Landing at Stockyards, are the ones I'll be showing you today. Exchange Landing was completed and put into service in 2010. Since that time, the bank has eroded significantly. The proposed solution is to pour concrete in the worst affected areas, which I have circled there. So these will be the areas with the concrete fill. Those ramps, it's very deep how far the concrete goes, but as we get heavy rains, mud washes onto those ramps and makes it difficult for passengers to get through, and it's a lot of work for crew to keep them cleared. And you can see that it's created some significant holes, so we're going to fill those in with concrete. Now, if there is sufficient funding left over, we'd like to put a shade structure over the waiting area for the passengers. And this is a rendering of what that might look like. At Meridian Landing, we have the shade structure there that was provided by USA Shade several years ago. With the construction complete on the Home 2 Suites and the other hotels in that area, we're planning to construct a pavilion here to attract more service riders for our ferry service. Most of the riders from this landing are visitors to Oklahoma City. Especially for foreign visitors, the ferry is the least costly and most enjoyable way to get into the downtown area and the Bricktown Entertainment District. So these are some renderings of what the pavilion will look like from several different angles there. You can see that the walls, the low walls, provide seating. Here's another view. You can see where the concrete comes out and is low so people can rest. And then, of course, trail users can use the shaded area as well. It's close proximity to the parking lot and then leading down to the landing. The biggest project is River Park, where we will put the Stockyards Landing at Agnew. This, of course, is the future site of the equestrian experience. The landing will actually not be, the dock won't actually be out into the river. We will recess the entire dock into the bank about 88 feet. This allows for heavy rains to not damage the dock. We've seen that with some of the public docks where if we have a heavy rain and the debris comes down, the dock gets rather torn up. We'll actually be recessing in somewhat. This will involve a realignment of the trail there, and this is what the drawing looks like for that. So you can see the river is out quite a ways. The dock will be about 60 feet long, 10 feet wide, and there'll be a gate to hopefully keep people from wandering around down there and doing things. There'll be the concrete sidewalk for ADA accessibility and stairs. And then over here, where it's circled, there will be a concrete pad. And the reason for that is we'd like to take the canopy that is currently at Meridian, because we're putting a pavilion in there, we can repurpose that canopy and move it down to the new Stockyards Landing. And potentially put some benches underneath the landing for trail users and visitors, passengers waiting and visitors to the park. So this is our schedule currently. Hopefully we'll be able to get through all of this. The plans have been submitted to the Scenic River Overlay Design District. They were submitted on December 4th. The project will go to CUTPA for approval on January 4th. They'll be advertised for bid on January 16th and 23rd. We'll have a pre-bid conference on the 30th. Opportunity for questions. Ultimately, we'll have a contract award hopefully on April 5th. And that is the plan. And with that, I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Very good. Thank you, Jeannie. I need a motion to receive that report.
So moved.
Cast your vote. Passes unanimous. Item C is to receive the Riverfront Redevelopment Authority schedule of cash receipts and disbursements for the period ending September 30th. Have any questions on that? Need a motion to receive? Cast your vote. It passes unanimously. Item D is to receive the Oklahoma City Riverfront Redevelopment Authority annual financial report for the fiscal year ending June 30, 2018. How are you?
Good afternoon. My name is Kelly Parker. I'm with the Accounting Services Division for the Finance Department with the city. I'm here to give just a very brief presentation for the annual audited financials for the Riverfront. There we go. All right. For the fiscal year 2018 into June 30th, the council has a resolution out there for all public trusts that are, where the city is a beneficiary, are encouraged to use an independent auditor. For the third year, the Riverfront has used AGH out of Wichita, Kansas. And in their audit this year, AGH provided an unmodified opinion, which basically, in easiest terms, is a clean audit. In the same process, no deficiencies on the internal controls were identified. Net position did have a decrease during 2018 for the fiscal year. That was made up of cash and investments, had an increase of $26,000. The receivables increased $26,000 due to a one-time revocable easement payment, and capital assets did decrease $104,000 due to just normal depreciation. Liabilities and obligations remained consistent from year to year, from 2017 to 2018. General revenues did increase $29,000 from 2017. That's made up of oil and gas royalties, had an increase of $2,000, which kind of states that during 2018, oil and gas prices stabilized. We'd seen some fluctuations in previous years. And then also that one-time revocable easement payment of $26,000. Lease revenues increased $6,000 from fiscal year 2017. That was made up of the new Lost Lakes development, had its first payment of just over $7,000 during 2018. It was done in November of 2017. And the Epic Paintball lease payments had a decrease of $1,000. But the primary reason for that was because in the previous year they were playing catch-up, and they are now currently up to date. And expenses remained consistent from 2017 to 2018. With that, I'll honor any questions.
Any questions on the financial report? Need a motion to receive that? Cast your vote. Pass unanimously. Thank you. Item E is to receive the revocable permit for the OKC Events and Entertainment Holiday River Parade, which was held Sunday night. So if you want to disapprove it, you're out of luck. No, it was a good event. It had a good crowd. Weather wasn't all that bad, so cast your vote. It passes unanimously.
I thought it was a good event. There were so many people downtown for the streetcar, and came over to that event too, and it was just a great day for downtown on the river.
Yeah. I think when warmer weather gets here, they're going to figure out a lot of different ways to use that to get around down there. Item F is another receive revocable for the Arts Council of Oklahoma City opening night. The 5K run was going to use part of our river trail down there. Again, this has already been passed by council. We're just receiving it. Motion? Cast your vote. Passes unanimously. Item G is to receive the authority's regular meeting calendar for 2019. It's in your packet. Anybody have any questions on that? Motion to receive that, please. Cast your vote. Passes unanimously. Item H, there was a replacement for this in front of you. There was one change made to it. Receive the Parks and Rec Department report for the value of third-party agreements for 2018. Doug?
Good afternoon, trustees. Doug Cupper, Parks and Recreation Director. Just since 2014, we've tried to make sure that we monetize all of the help that we get throughout the community to defray, if you will, tax dollars going into park improvements, park repairs, park maintenance, and things along those lines. So I've been having staff create these reports for the City Council to understand the involvement and the partnerships and the value of those partnerships that we have across the boards. And obviously, when it comes to the trust, we want to make sure that the trust is aware of the values that they're getting on their lands. And in this case, it's the River Redevelopment Authority. You can see that we've had quite a bit of improvements done by others that obviously doesn't hit your bank accounts, but we have great partnerships going forward. One of the ones that we don't have on here because it came to us late, and it's in my report, is the Hispanic League that is playing now on your properties that we received in exchange for the Wheeler District lands on the river. There was an ongoing lease there with soccer organizations, and that'll be added to the report next year, because not only do they pay a lease payment to use the property, but they also invest by taking care of that property as well. So we'll be excited about adding that one. And of course, the improvements that the Community Foundation is doing down there on their section of the river is a big one as well. But obviously, from this report, one of the big ones is our partner that by Canop leads the way on, and that's the Boathouse District. And the value of their maintaining our lands is right at $250,000. So I'd be happy to answer any questions, and I hope that this report is of benefit to you all.
Any questions?
Doug, I appreciate all this information. Do we keep track, or do we use any of the Shine services?
Yes, ma'am, we do.
Keep track of the volunteer hours, because that also provides us a service.
In recent years, we haven't had a need for them because of the partners that our trust specialist has been able to develop with Lost Lakes and Crystal and places along those lines, but they have been an intricate part in the past, but we have not had to use them this year on your properties so far.
Any other questions?
Thank you.
Motion to receive that? Cast your vote. Passes unanimously. Item 6 is the claims docket. Any questions on it? Cast your vote. Passes unanimously. Item 7 is additional items. You have the Park and Rec Director's report in there. Doug, you have anything other than what's written in the report?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I really don't. The one highlighted item was the lease of the soccer organization. I think it's going to be a big benefit to the folks on the south side of the river to continue to have access to that property, and it's a great relationship. We've met with the folks that run that organization, and it's one of those that we could hold up as an example to some of the other organizations that we have agreements with across the city as the way that we should be doing business. So I recommend that you accept the report.
Any questions on his report?
Thank you.
Cast your vote. Passes unanimously. Any comments by trustees? Brian?
I'd just like to mention, Doug just made reference to it, but on the tree planting project on the north side of the river, we had 140 trees planted up through last week, and another 100 are going in this week by Friday. So we'll be right at about a quarter of the number of trees. There is, you know, what we anticipated when I-40 was repositioned and all. There's a lot of utilities in that area, and also it's just taken a lot of coordination between everything. Right now, everything's going really well, and we're hearing the people that are riding their bikes or running down there have been very complimentary of the trees going in. So,
Brian mentioned earlier that if glass could grow trees, we'd be in really good shape, because there's a lot of debris they're digging up down there. Don?
Mr. Chairman, I don't know if the rest of us know, but this is Marcia's last meeting with us, and I'd like to wish her well, seeing the world.